Hi, welcome again to Pauline Interviews. And before I start the interview this time, sometimes I forget and have to say at the end, but I want to thank New Renaissance Bookstore for letting me use their event center. It's a wonderful place here on Northwest 23rd. If you like anything on energy healing, crystals, metaphysical books, self-help, I can't even name everything they have here. Please come and visit them here at New Renaissance. It's a wonderful place, and you'll feel good when you leave. You'll feel good while you're shopping as well. I'm interviewing Sharon Lewis. And I'm so excited to interview Sharon. I interviewed you once before, and this time we interviewed on remote viewing, but this time you do so many things, and I'm going to interview you in depth on these things on different interviews, but just for now, I want to touch on a couple of things. You're a channeler, and I think you said out of all the things you do, a couple are, well, you love them all, but channeling you said was up there.
Yeah.
Tell me a little about your channeling and what you do.
Channeling, I love it because it's such a close connection with who I channel, which is Eoben Ben. He's Arcturan, so he's an off-planet person. Yes?
Off-planet, what's the name of the planet?
Arcturus.
Arcturus, okay, Arcturus. Is that in a different solar system?
I would say it's more in a different dimension.
Okay, all right. That's complicated. We're
Yes.
going to do an interview on this where we'll really get it.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Okay. One of the things I wanted to say about channeling is some people believe that it's draining. It is not draining for me whatsoever. In the channels that I know, it isn't. Mm-hmm. It's exuberating. It makes me feel sometimes I can't go to sleep because it's so fun and so exciting, and so I learn a lot. There are different levels of trances that you go into. I've gone into a couple. I've gone into the deep where you're, almost asleep or pretty much considered asleep.
So there's brain waves you're talking about. The trances are the different levels of brain waves. Is that what you mean?
I guess I've not thought of it like that. I haven't looked in depth about the brain wave levels. All of them, you'd have to be in at least theta to do them. So I've done some channeling where I can stand up and walk and look at you. And then I've done some channeling where I would just sit there and my eyes would be closed and Eoben Ben would come through me. So
would people come to you and ask you questions and you channel and that's how you get the information for them?
Most of the channeling I've done to groups. So usually in the audience, people would have questions, you're right. And they would ask their question, and then Eoben would give the answer to those questions.
Can you find somebody who's crossed over? Like, say I came in and said, I lost this person in my life. Can you connect with them? Or?
Well, that I consider more in the paranormal. As a medium, yes, I do that for sure. Eoben Ben is more into higher consciousness stuff and wanting to elevate and assist people to raise their vibrations, to help them live a better life, to learn how to manifest, find their blocks, so that they can work on that and get rid of those and move forward. So he's more of in what I would call, it's just a different vibration, a higher vibration way. The paranormal, I don't necessarily put that down, but he wouldn't, yes, I'm sure he can see spirits and so forth, but he's more into elevating you and this planet to a better way of living our lives and so forth.
So that's great that people come to these classes because they want to help themselves. By helping themselves, they help the planet, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
As you raise your vibration?
Yeah.
So where do you teach your classes?
Well, we're looking for new places right now. We were teaching out of a studio, and that studio closed. So I have taught classes here at New Renaissance. It's fabulous, I would say again. I do love coming here. The energy's amazing. I've gone to McMinnville. I know we talked about that.
Inner Oasis?
Inner Oasis, isn't it Joanne?
Yes, Joanne.
Yeah. Just all over the place. Just various Sage Center in Beaverton. Just also whatever place that we can find that's reasonably affordable.
Right. So that
when people come to pay for the classes or the events, it's not too expensive for them.
Right, because you're trying to help them, and
yes,
you think somebody wants to help you, why don't they do for nothing? But you have expenses you have to pay for.
We do. We have to pay for the room. People have gas, whatever.
Now, if I came to you and I want to raise my vibration, could you just give me an example? I don't know if you can't. Don't worry about it. How would I do that?
Well, there's it's a complicated thing, but to simplify it the best, that Aoben has explained it to me, at least in the starting level, is to find out what your home frequency is. And your home frequency is, how do you feel most of the time?
Oh, when you're talking about home, you don't mean my physical home, you mean me. I'm my home.
This is your
I feel
home.
good most of the time.
So that's what your home frequency is. So if you want to raise it, say you're in joy most of the time, but I would say gratitude might be a little bit higher vibration. So then you could, when you notice yourself feeling joyful, if you want to raise it, although joy is pretty high, you could raise it by being grateful for what you have in your life. And you can feel a little tick up when you do that. If you want to feel another tick up,
love. I
Love
got
will
it.
tick
I
you
got
up
it right
even
away.
higher.
As soon as I caught on right away as soon as you started saying, you know, because a lot of times people let things get them down, and I'm not dismissing it because we do have a lot of things to get us down. But I try to get that out of my mind and focus on what makes me happy, like interviewing you, doing the show, you know, and meeting some fabulous people, and it makes me feel so good because I know there are wonderful people in the world. We all hear on the news of bad people, this, but I know there's some wonderful people doing wonderful work. And to raise a vibration and to be loving and kind. So it makes me happy that you're on this planet with me.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Now, the one you channel, when did he first come into your life, and how did this happen?
It was so funny, so fun. I was taking a nap, and I heard crows. You know when you're in that half sleep, half awake thing? I heard these crows. And in my dream state, these two crows dropped down onto the ground and became humans, two males. And they came into where I was sleeping, and they told me, I was meeting with a group that evening, and they told me that there was a group of Pleiadians, and I don't remember now, I think they just talked about Pleiadians, that there was a group coming in that they, if any of the group of people that I was meeting with wanted to have a new guide, they would be there. And so I was one of the ones, when the group got together, I was one of the ones that said I wanted one, so I got Aoben. I thought he was Pleiadian. Well, he's not Pleiadian. I find this all out later. He's Arcturan, but he's a member of the Council of 12, of the Pleiadian Council of 12.
Now, if anybody doesn't know about, you know, outer space, or not outer space, but other existences, the Pleiadians, I think, is the most well-known, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty well-known. And I was reading Barbara Marciniak's books.
Is it from another solar?
The Pleiades, yes.
Oh, another solar system, yeah.
You know, I don't know all that sciencey stuff.
No, but no, I don't either. But I'm fascinated, and I really want to learn about it because I don't know how we can believe we're the only existence.
I know.
It just doesn't make sense. But that's me. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, the other thing you love to do is paranormal investigations, and that's fascinating. I did a show a long time ago, Parapsychology Today, and I took a paranormal investigator and a psychic, and we went to a place. I found it interesting because when the psychic said, "Oh, I feel this weird energy here," the investigator came with his instruments, and shoo, the energy went off the charts. So tell me a little bit about your paranormal group. And
well, it's White Light Paranormal Insight is the name, and so it'd be whitelightparanormalinsight.com. It's was created and formed by Seth, Michael McKay, and Jill Straub. We've been together for, I think it's 8 years now. We have the investigation team side, and we have the medium side. I'm on the medium side, and I think that we have lots of mediums. A lot of teams just have one. Seth wanted to have more than one, because if you have a bunch of mediums together, or let's say you have one medium, I would just see you from the front view, let's say. If you have more than one medium, maybe one can see from here, another one sees, so you get different perspectives. So we like that. So it's interesting, we'll say the same thing, but just a different viewpoint. So it's very fun and interesting in that way.
And who contacts you?
We have a person who takes phone calls, or we get emails or phone calls to the website or to the phone number, and it goes to a specific person on the team, and that person will get the information and decide if it's for us or not. And if it's for us, then they're given a number or a case name, and then it's presented to the team. The mediums, I generally just get a name and or a number, or it's in Portland, Oregon, whatever. That's all we get. And then we get to, in my living room, I sit and I intuit. I like to do the remote viewing. I'll go to the location, and then at the location I'll find the spirits and see what they're experiencing. I'll figure out the humans and what are they experiencing, and then I write up a note. And that's what all the mediums do, and then we send it to the original person. So I don't know what any of the mediums, other mediums have said, and I don't know what the intake person knows. So that information gets pooled. If the client wants an investigation, the investigation team goes in first. If they want, we call it a resolve. We don't do a cleanse. We don't call it cleansing. Spirits are not dirty. To me, they're lost souls, or they're grandma and grandpa. I mean, I don't want to cleanse grandma and grandpa. So they're souls to us. We call them resolves. So if they want an investigation and a resolve, we go in separately. If they want no investigation, they just want a resolve, then the mediums that can go will go in and do the resolve.
So people that call you, it's basically because they know there's some energy in the house that they don't want to keep.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it's wonderful the way you look at it, and I know I've heard that sometimes souls don't realize that it's time to move to the light, that they've crossed, that some people don't know they've died.
That's true.
The emotions hold them, to ground them to the earth plane. But I've also heard that there are some nasty energies, but you never encounter that?
Oh yeah, we've encountered them. Yeah, I just don't worry about it.
Okay, but if you do encounter nasty energies, then do you go out and try to remove them somehow? Is it harder to get them out than the people that just don't know that they've died?
Yes, historically it is harder. First we have to discern, decide, figure out, is this really a negative energy? 9 times out of 10, they're terrified themselves as a ghost, as a spirit. They're angry. You know, they've got the energy of what was in their bodies before they died. So we have to figure that out. And it becomes kind of a counseling session in a way. And I would say 90 or more % of the time they go willingly to the light or whatever belief system that you have. So those just takes a little bit of time to sort that all out. The more nefarious ones, Aobino Ben has given me a technique that I use. First of all, everybody's always given free will. This is a free will planet. I believe it's free will in the other dimensions and so forth. So everybody, whether they're nasty or not, gets free will in the sense of, we're asking you to go. You can go home. Go back home. So we do that. And then if they absolutely will not go, then I will enact. It's a law. It's a spiritual law. I'll enact that law.
It's amazing because I always thought that, you know, there's people, loving people, guides, it's them to guide. Well, maybe they're there. Maybe they just don't want to go.
And they stay.
Yeah,
Some of them stay.
I mean, because that scares me. Well, maybe because of my beliefs, I know they will be guided. But so could it be your beliefs? You just don't realize that there's somebody to guide you, or I mean, why do they stay? I know the emotions keep them there, but
well, of the earth spirits that we run across, I would say the majority of them are terrified to leave because they've done something wrong.
Ooh.
We run across a lot of women from later years that say had abortions and they think they're going to go to hell. So why would you?
Oh, the religion
move
kind
on?
of. Yeah, that's
so
right.
So that comes
Yeah.
in. Some of them, you know, they. A lot of them are just afraid to move on.
That's interesting.
No.
That is so interesting. That's fascinating.
It's, you know, and honestly, I don't know how I can make this up. It's a common thread. If you read different groups, you'll see these are kind of common things.
So we'll put that information up. People call you if there's some energy, and if it's just people that need to move on, or this can be a little scary stuff that you want to get rid of, you can help them there too. So we touched on 2 big topics here, boy. You do positive energy jewelry, you're psychic medium. What's the difference between a psychic medium and a channeler?
A psychic, where to start? With the channel, I'm connecting with a spirit or a soul or an off-planet person and giving out positive messages.
Highly evolved spirit, right?
Yes, I would say way more evolved than I am.
And you're pretty evolved.
Well, I don't know.
What do you call an avatar?
Yeah, I suppose you could look at it that way. I personally don't embody. I don't go into
different.
There's a different techniques on how you do it. Whereas with the spirits, I don't let them in my body. I don't even necessarily have them in my energy field.
When you channel?
When I channel, they're in my energy field.
Oh, okay.
I literally, Aoben comes in me and I go into him. It's a joining. It's I don't ever. Aoben taught me about channeling and how he wants to do it, and that is to include me.
Okay.
So that's how I do that.
Other channels, maybe sometimes they get out.
They like to step outside of their body,
let them use
being
them. Yeah.
completely take over. I don't do it that way.
Sounds scary to me.
Well, I didn't like the idea. I'm comfortable if Aoben wanted to do it that way now, but he doesn't want. He says he wants to incorporate who I am into the mix,
which is really nice. Very nice. And then a psychic medium does.
A psychic medium is. There's a difference between psychic and medium. The psychics, obviously are psychic and have special abilities, but they don't see ghosts, let's say.
Oh, okay.
A medium is also psychic, but they can see spirits.
Okay, now I know.
Spirits.
Boy.
They don't always, not everybody can see them, but they can sense them.
Boy, this is fascinating. Well, we're going to wrap this up because there's so many things I said. We'll do some more interviews and we'll talk about that after I do this.
Awesome.
And set up some more because it's been fun. I hope you've enjoyed it.
I have. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. There's so many interesting things out there, and I don't know. When I do the show, I just say to the audience, you don't have to believe anything.
Right.
But just having an open mind is so much fun because it makes life more interesting,
It's fun.
It's fun, and what we keep talking about is we're not just our bodies, That's what I've always tried to get across, that we're an energy field. Anyway, there's so much to talk about, and we'll save it for another time. Thank you for watching another edition of Pauline Interviews, and if you like our show, please tell your friends about it. You can find us on YouTube. And also, we'd ask you if you do like it, also please subscribe and you'll be notified when some other shows are coming up. We're doing some very interesting ones. So thanks for watching.